So, you've seen A Nightmare on Elm Street, right? Classic horror flick, but that ending totally messed with your head, didn't it? We all accept a certain amount of weirdness in dreams, but this was just off. Welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host Freddy. Let's dive in a creepy dream, shall we? Freddy with his glove haunting dreams and all, that was creepy. But the whole die in your dream, die in real life thing that had some rules, right? Nancy and her friends figured them out more or less. Then the ending comes along, throws those rules out the window, and leaves you scratching your head. Shocking for sure, but it just didn't add up. Makes you wonder if the folks behind the movie even remembered their own dream logic. It spawned a whole bunch of sequels and stuff, but man, before we dive into that crazy franchise, gotta figure out what happened to Nancy first, right? Who is Freddy? Buckle up, because here's the backstory on Freddy Krueger, the dream-haunting maniac. Remember that creepy glove with knives for fingers at the beginning of the movie? Yeah, that's our boy Freddy putting the finishing touches on his special nightmare tool. Turns out, this wasn't his first rodeo. Years before, Freddy went on a killing spree, taking the lives of at least 20 kids, but justice wasn't exactly served. Thanks to some legal mumbo-jumbo, Freddy walked free. The parents on Elm Street, though, they weren't having it. They decided to take matters into their own hands, forming a vengeful mob. They tracked Freddy down to his dark and scary boiler room, you know, the place where he took his victims, and set the whole place ablaze. That explains his burned-up look. And guess what? They also took away his precious glove o' knives. So yeah, not a good day for Freddy. A child's nursery rhyme. 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, better lock the door. 5, 6, grab your crucifix. 7, 8, gonna stay up late. 9, 10, never sleep again, becomes popular in town as a result. Alright, so Freddy gets burned to a crisp by the angry parents, right? You'd think that would be the end of him, but nope. Turns out Freddy's a real vengeful spirit. He lives on in the dreams of the kids, the children of those very parents who torched him. Here's the twist. Freddy can't touch the parents in the real world, but he can sure mess with their kids in their dreams. No bedtime story or teddy bear can save them from Freddy's nightmare playground. It's all about revenge, you see, making the parents suffer by hurting their kids. Brutal, right? Though things get a little different as the movies go on. Freddy gets more like a dream world Freddy Krueger villain of the week, facing off against teenagers who are ready to throw down in both the dream realm and the waking world. What happened to Nancy and his friends? So, the movie kicks off with a sleepover at Tina's place. Her, Nancy, Rod, and Glenn are all teenagers just trying to have a good time. But things get weird fast. They all start having these messed up nightmares about a creepy dude in a striped sweater with finger knives for some reason. Like, who even dreams that stuff up? Anyway, things take a turn for the worse when Tina gets slashed to death in her sleep by this nightmare dude. Blaming Rod, who she had just hooked up with, they throw him in jail. Nancy knows something's fishy though, and she's determined to get to the bottom of this. She tries everything to stay awake, even burning herself in class to prove the dream world is messing with reality. Her mom takes her to a sleep clinic, hoping the experts can help. That's where things get interesting. Nancy has another nightmare, and this time she wakes up holding a hat. And guess what? It has Freddy's name written inside the brim. Looks like they finally have a name for their dream stalker. Nancy's mom freaks out when she sees the hat. Turns out, she has a secret connection to Freddy. She was one of the parents who burned him to a crisp way back when. Talk about a plot twist. And guess what else she's been hiding? Freddy's precious finger knives down in the basement. No wonder Nancy couldn't shake the feeling this dream guy was trouble. Nancy knows Freddy's not going to stop haunting them, so she hatches a plan. She calls her friend Glenn to watch over her as she sleeps, hoping to lure Freddy out and fight him in her dreams. Glenn even gives her a handy tip. Never turn your back on the dream monster. Seems like good advice, right? Well, things don't exactly go according to plan. Glenn falls asleep before he can help, and Nancy's mom, in a moment of questionable parenting, locks her in the house. To top it all off, Freddy gives Nancy the ultimate creepy call, his tongue slithering through the phone and licking her face. Shudder. This is one seriously messed up dream Nancy's trapped in. Well, let's just say Glenn isn't the brightest bulb. Dude falls asleep with a whole TV on his lap. Nancy knows Freddy's gotta be after him now. And wouldn't you know it, Freddy shows up in Glenn's dream and things get brutal. In what might be the most messed up scene in the whole movie, Freddy turns Glenn's bed into a blood geyser. Yep, you read that right. Glenn and his TV gets sucked right into the mattress, and then, bam! A giant explosion of blood erupts, showering the room. Needless to say, Glenn isn't waking up from that nightmare. Sorry, Glenn. A Nightmare on Elm Street ending explained. So Nancy's all geared up, right? Booby traps all over the house, like a teenager's room crossed with a demolition zone. Her mom's zonked out, and Nancy needs her dad on standby in case things get messy. She drifts off to sleep, dreaming of that creepy boiler room with Freddy on her tail. Talk about a nightmare vacation. The whole time, she's got one eye on her watch, this timer counting down to wake her up at 12:30 sharp. Beep. She jolts awake, feeling safe, until Freddy lunges out of nowhere like a bad pop quiz. Turns out, he wasn't just hanging out in dreamland anymore. This is where things get wild. Nancy leads Freddy on a merry chase through the house, ends up dousing him with gas, and lights him up like a birthday candle gone rogue. By the time her dad bursts in, Freddy's a walking bonfire, leaving a trail of fiery footprints. But wait, there's more. The real target all along was Nancy's mom. Freddy lunges at her, flames and all, and it's a fight for survival. Poor woman doesn't stand a chance. Just when you think it's all over, Nancy pulls a crazy move. She talks to the flaming Freddy, basically telling him he's a powerless loser and that his fear-fueled reign of terror is over. Now, remember that advice her friend Glenn gave her? Turns out, facing Freddy head-on with no fear is his ultimate kryptonite. Poof, Freddy disappears, leaving Nancy the only one who figured out how to beat the dream demon. Talk about a plot twist. Her mom's gone, but at least the nightmare's finally over, right? Yeah, that's where it gets interesting. Craven originally wanted to drop the mic right there. Nancy's the last one standing, Freddy's toast, literally, and it's a bittersweet victory. But Hollywood loves a good sequel tease, so they tacked on one more scene. Let's see what they came up with. Foggy morning. Everything feels like a dream. Nancy's walking out the house with her mom, who's somehow alive again. Talk about a head scratcher, right? They get to the curb, and who pulls up but Glenn in his sweet ride. Tina and Rod are even in the back. The whole gang's back together. But hold on, things get weird fast. As Nancy hops in, the convertible top folds down, revealing, wait for it, red and green stripes, just like Freddy's sweater. Then the windows roll up automatically, trapping them inside. Nancy's mom, clueless as ever, waves goodbye all happy-go-lucky as kids outside skip rope and sing that creepy "Freddy's coming for you" rhyme. Just when you think things can't get any weirder, Freddy's arm bursts out of nowhere and snatches Nancy's mom right back into the house. Poof, she's gone. Now Nancy and her friends are stuck in this creepy car with the top down, and who knows what's next. So are they all still dead? Was the whole movie just one messed up dream? The ending leaves it totally up in the air. In this world where dreams and reality blur together, maybe both can be true. But hey, if Freddy really did get toasted for good like Craven wanted, there wouldn't be room for all those sequels, would there? Hollywood gotta keep that sequel train rolling, right? So this was for today's folks. See you in next video. Till then, bye-bye and take care.
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.